Hello everyone. So I would like to start by introducing the two people I have here with me. They are very good friends of mine. Aditya has done his graduation.
Payal, can you be a little bit
Hello, am I audible?
louder?
Okay, am I audible now?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Aditya has done his graduation BCom from BSU and he is in BSc. So all the non-economics background questions can be addressed to him. Ritika has done her graduation from Delhi University, Jhansi Devi Memorial College, and she is also now in BSc. So the session is divided in three parts. In the first part, they'll be telling you about the colleges and the eligibility criteria. In the second part, they will tell you about the curriculum, course, and entrance structure. And in the third part, they'll be telling you about the strategies to prepare. So if you have any questions, you can mention it in the comments box, or if you want to speak it, you can raise your hand and you can ask your question one by one. Okay, let's start.
Aditya, please unmute your mic.
Hello guys, I hope you are all are well. So firstly, I would like to highlight the colleges which takes MECO courses, right? So we have, as you all know, we have DSC, ISI, IGIDR, then JNU, SAU, MSc, and ASOPA, Jamia. So we will try to focus only on the top 5 or 6 colleges and their eligibility, right? So for DSE, you just have to score in your undergrad at least 60% SGPA or with any discipline. It doesn't matter. So either you have studied your mathematics in your undergrad or not in your 12th, doesn't matter. And for IGIDR and ISI, you must have either you have studied mathematics in your +2 level or undergrad level. For JNU, I don't think there is any requirement. Just have to score 60% at least in your undergrad. That is enough. And for SAU, I think they have also they will also ask you for mathematics in your +2 or undergrad level. So I think these are the eligibility criteria for these 5 or 6 colleges, as far as I know.
So basically, guys, for every colleges, you need at least 60% of marks in your graduation. Fine. And for like any other colleges, like just for ISI and IGIDR, you need mathematics in your undergraduation or in your 12th standard. And for SAU as well, they sometimes ask and sometimes they does not ask. So you can fill their form, but they might ask you about the mathematics and all. Fine. And for Delhi School of Economics, there is also a merit criteria. So for that, the cutoff depends upon year to year. So this year it was around 85%. And since the things are getting, worse, and this is all uncertain situation, so you can expect around 86-87% this year as well. So, so eligibility is just this, yeah, much more, not much more. Yeah.
Do you have any questions regarding eligibility, or so you can ask right now? Any specific colleges or something like that?
Yeah, I think everyone is here, so we can go ahead.
If you want to ask about any other college, you can ask. Okay, then let's move to part 2.
So the Piyush has asked, are there any other colleges?
Yes. So basically, PUs, for DU, you have only one colleges, Delhi School of Economics, and other colleges which we have told about are the non-DU colleges, ISI, IGIDR, SAU. They are not affiliated to DU. They are autonomous, independent colleges.
Yes, Pura has asked that is DSC is completely merit based, so no.
No.
Uh,
They
so
they
there
allowed
is a
50% seats to merit, and then entrance 50%. So the total
guys,
number of seats in
we will be discussing about seats and all other things just after the eligibility criteria. So like DSC actually increases seats every year, but the separation is always same, like 50% for merit and the 50% for entrance based category wise.
now there are 330 seats in absolute number.
Yeah, in
DSC.
our class we have 350 students.
Yeah.
How many seats? That's what I have to find. I guess we can move on, Pyle.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, so the second round is basically we will be discussing about the course curriculum and the books, and how you can go about it. So, Aditya, do you want to start?
So yeah. So I will go one by one, right? So firstly, I will tell you about the Delhi School of Economics. So in Delhi School of Economics, the exam pattern is MCQ, right? And for that, you have to study micro, macro, mathematics, statistics, game theory, um, probability, general equilibrium, right? So these are the subjects, and all the subjects are important. You cannot separate any other subject like this is the most important than others. No, you have to study all the subjects thoroughly. Like so, yeah, and so in mathematics, for mathematics, you can study the book written by Hammond, which is followed also in DU in undergrad. And for micro part, you can study Hall variant and Robert Pindyck and Rubenfeld for theory part. And for calculation part, for numerical part, you can follow the book Nicholson. So yeah, and for macro, you can study the book which is followed in DU, Olivier Blancard and Fisher, and for theory part, you can build your basics from MenQ also, and then for statistics, you can follow SC Gupta and VK Kapoor. Yeah, and for game theory, I think Osborne is enough. So just go with the pattern which is followed in DSC. So
Okay, guys, I want to add one thing that for econometrics, like teachers and all of our teachers and seniors suggest to follow Gujarati, which is because I'm assuming that most of us know about Gujarati because people have studied Gujarati in your undergraduation, and I'm assuming that people are not assuming like people are from here DU. We can also discuss about the non-DU students as well, and you can ask question as well. So if for now, I'm assuming that you know about the Gujarati. So do not just completely rely on the reading material which provided in the DU, because when I was preparing, so the book, Gujarati book, is very important because I've realized that the question they asked in the exam were completely from the back exercise of the Gujarati, which is introduced in the semester one of DSE. So that's almost same, but that's a bigger version, and that's also easy. It's not like it's much harder and all. That's very easy book. Even I think you can purchase that because in any case you have to purchase that in DSE, ISA or any other colleges. So you should go for that book. That's a really amazing book. Gujarati, the whole book Gujarati, not the reading.
yeah, and there's one more thing that the first and foremost requirement of pursuing to clear the entrance of DSC is that you have to be a good with mathematics, all the techniques and methods which is applied in economics. So you have to good in it. Either it is calculus, optimization, all the techniques which is applied, mathematical techniques or methods which is applied in economics. So you have to be that is the first and foremost requirement, because here you cannot just read the theory of all the concepts, and if you think that I will clear the entrance, then it is not possible. So, yeah. And for IGIDR, now I will tell about you IGIDR. So the pattern of IGIDR is that they will take their exam in 3 parts. Like one would be your basic mathematics. So first one will there will be 2 compulsory parts, like basic economics and reading comprehension. So they will also ask you some general English passage writing and this and your grammars or so yeah. These 2 are compulsory part, and there will be one another optional part in advanced mathematics or basic economics, right? Yeah. So in these 2 you have to opt one. So these are the pattern of IGIDR. What I would suggest you for IGIDR is that if you are preparing for there is no other explicitly recommendation for IGIDR to prepare for entrance. But I would suggest you to, if you are thoroughly preparing for ISI and DSE, then I think that would be enough. That would be enough for you to cover the IGIDR. You can devote some extra time in mathematical parts, because they will ask you some mathematical question which you have studied in your +2 level. So these are the exam pattern, and then they will have an interview after clear the entrance. So yeah, these are the this is for IGIDR, and for ISI, Ritika will tell you about it.
Hello.
Uh-huh.
There is some.
So, Ritika, can you hear me? Hello, Ritika, can you hear me?
Hello.
Yes.
Okay, guys,
Go ahead.
Aditya, can you hear me?
yeah.
Actually, I just lost something the voice. I didn't hear what you were
So
saying.
yeah, Ritika, I have told them about DSC and IGIDR. Now you can tell them about ISI. What is the
Okay,
pattern?
guys, since Aditya just said about all the books you have to study, okay, like maths, macroeconometrics, and all the required books, international and public economy, you have to study basically you have to study all the books which you have studied in your undergraduation, be it international economics, be it game theory, be it public goods, be it statistics, econometrics, everything. Since you have to study everything for DSC, you have to study these same thing for ISI as well. So what is different between ISI and DSC is just one little thing. ISI has 2 exams. Okay, one is objective, which is called PE, and another is subjective. Fine. So for generally ISI asked before 2019, they used to ask just mathematics, around 90% mathematics in their PEA part. Okay, so but in 2019 paper they have asked lots of economics, and in 2020 it was like a mixed paper. It was a mixed paper. They have also asked some aptitude questions, just 2-3 questions. 2-3 questions were also repeated. There were lots of maths and economics as well, little bit of economics. So the PE, the PE paper is much easier. They won't ask you much and they won't pressurize you much. Okay, so if you have studied for DSE very well, you can easily clear the PEA paper. Fine, that they give you 2 hours for PEA paper, and they ask around 30 questions. You can easily, can attempt all the question in 1 hour if you have studied pretty well. Now, for the PEB part, you have to work on your writing skills because the competition is so high. You know, people do prefer ISI over DSC sometimes. So competition is so high. So you have to, work on your writing part. So there are 3 sections in PEB part: maths, macro, and micro. So till now, the criteria is that they ask 3 questions. They provide 3 questions in each section. You have to answer 1 question from each section. That's compulsory, and 1 question from any of the other sections. So basically, in total, you have to attempt 4 questions. So see, the the paper framing of the whole PEB part, I won't say ki it's easy, but it's not that difficult. See, you have to make the habit of writing down things. If you think like, okay, I have understood the concept and I directly write in the ISI exam, you won't be able to write. Because say suppose you are reading the solo model, so you have to write the entire model because they don't ask you entire directly what is solo model and what is this. ISI will ask you one of the difficult question of the solo model apart from just calculating the steady state and all. No, that will not be asked. It will ask you the very difficult questions. So just make a habit of writing down things. So that's the one major difference between ISI and DSC. And on the top of that, ISI also conduct interview, but because of COVID, last year ISI did not conduct any interview, and I'm hoping that they might not conduct this year as well, based on the assumption of the previous year, but they can conduct because IGIDR conducted last year their interview sessions, so online, so they can also conduct. So do not assume implicitly unless they have mentioned in their form that they want conduct.
Yeah.
So this is all
Also,
about
I would like
ISI.
to add that they have the PEA and PEB exam in the same day. So it's not like you have to wait that you just prepare for
Yeah.
the objective questions and then you wait if you clear it and then you prepare for the subjective paper. No. They'll just have the both exams in the same day. You'll give the first exam, they'll give you a break of 1 hour or so, and then the second exam on the same day.
Yeah. And okay, so before that, before we proceed, if you have any questions about DSC, like
Right.
the books you need to read or the study material apart from the strategies for DSC, ISI, and IGR, you can feel free to ask. You can write down in chat box as well.
So also the merit admission in DSC is only for the students who are in DU. The non-DU students cannot be admitted to merit. They have to give the entrance exam only to take admission in DSC. And last year also they had admission for merit, so you cannot go with the fact that this year they won't. There was something even 2 years ago that the merit section will be removed and DSC will be entirely based on entrance, but it is not so till now. And we cannot consider the fact that it will just remove merit and take 100% on entrance.
See, unless the DU has not mentioned if they want to eliminate the this merit based criteria, they have to tell you in advance, like at least 6-7 months ago. So if they haven't told you that, so they can't do this.
So yeah, there
General
is a question.
category. So
What are
the
the
general
minimum
category.
marks? Yeah. So
Aditya, go ahead.
can you be specific whether you are asking for merit or entrance?
And for which college?
Yeah. And Ayushi has asked in DSC, since we had OB last year and we expect the same for this year as well. So do you think that merit
Yeah,
based
yeah, I've
criteria
answered
must?
that.
You
Yeah,
have
Payal
answered.
just answered that.
What are the minimum of entrance DSC? See, if we look at the last since last year pattern of some of the last year pattern of the entrance score, then I think for a safer side, if you have scored 130 plus, then I think that would be a good.
So guys, just make the target of at least 125. Because the last time there was something unwanted and unpredictable happen, and the highest score was around 173 out of 200. So don't.
That was the record I use, and
That
you
was
have
the
never.
highest record. So please, and so see, think like this. You have OB going on. All of them are sitting at their home. So people are preparing very hard. So people will get this year good marks as well. So don't in like 2019, the general category cutoff was around 112, or I guess 110. The last cutoff was 110, and this year it was 120, I guess. Yeah, this is the years were 120, and around 200 people scored above 100. So you can think about it. There are only 58 seats for general category entrance, and 200 people gets above 100. So you can't just assume that if I got 100, then I get DSC. Just please make a target of at least 130. Otherwise, just okay.
Okay, we will talk about it in our third part. So what should be your strategy and something like
MA
this? So,
good job lag jayegi. Okay, so if you are in DSE, if you are doing it from DSE, ISI, IGIDR, there is 90% probability that you will get a job if you work hard. If you get good score and you have a good CV, you prepare very good for interviews,
And you have no
you
back.
will get a job. And you, provided you do not have any back, you will get a job, a good job.
And in
okay.
fact, the placement for IGIDR is around 100%. Even ISI and
Okay.
DSC
Yeah.
do offer very good placements.
So,
Oh,
how many entrances did you clear before clearing DSA entrance? So,
and I want to say, like, how does it matter? Do you guys really want to know it? How does it matter how many entrances we crack? We are in DSC right now, and that we're proud of it.
okay, we will talk
Any other
about it. And
later? Yeah. So, any other question, guys, about this course curriculum and all?
about these three colleges, then we will, move on up to our next topic or next colleges.
Next
Minimum-
colleges, like another
Yes.
colleges. We will be
Ritika-
discussing about JNU. Fine.
yeah.
Minimum
So,
percentage for merit. Okay, please try. See, if you have like around 85% in merit, then you can expect you will get through merit in first list. Because this year it was around 84.5 or 85%, I guess. So generally the cutoff is not so high but because because of this OB system, and DU is just giving the marks for free, so you can expect like 86%, 87% merit cutoff.
Even in previous years, for
okay.
general category, it does not go below 81, 82%. So that is the
Yeah.
minimum that you need to have it from DU.
And
And
non-DU
non-DU
students
students
cannot
cannot
get
get
through
through
merit
merit
in DSC.
in DSC.
Is it that DSC
Is
is
it
quant related? Yes, yes. You have to go in mathematics. Not only in mathematics, but the methods and techniques which is applied in economics. How you can use those techniques in micro, macro, eco tricks, even in statistics.
See, the
DSC is
first
all
semester is entire based on maths, and they will assume that you know mathematics. You know, every teacher will say like faculty is so good, but they will assume you know maths, you know integration, differential equation, differentiation, and calculus, algebra. Although they will teach, but you know little things they will assume. You have to brush up your concepts if you are not good through maths. You have to brush up.
so somehow if you crack the if you crack the entrance of DSC just by chance, and if you are not in good with these mathematical techniques, then it will be very difficult for you to survive there. So yeah.
Also, yeah, one more thing I wanted to add for ISI, I just remember that econometrics is very important for DSC, but not that important for
SI and
ISI.
IGIDR. Yeah, econometrics is asked only in DSC.
Majorly in DSC. See, it's like if DSC is asking 50 questions, so 25 questions will be economic based on an average, and 25 questions will be based on maths and econometrics. So there
Yeah,
is no
there is no
interview.
interview.
7 के बाद लॉकडाउन लग गया पढ़ाई
We will come to it later.
yeah, Aditya will answer this.
Okay, can you tell about JNU entrance? So now I'll tell you something about JNU, right? So JNU basically JNU has two programs for MA Economics. One is Triple S and the another one is SIS, right? So SSS, you have to in SSS you have to basically prepare for some general economics, right? Like basic micro, macro, mathematics, These are the requirements of these for this part. And for SIS, which is conducted by uh, international department, the JNU. So there you have to, apart from all these subjects, you have to also focus on the international economics. So for international economics, if you are a non-DU student, then you can follow the book. What's the book? Salvatore. And if you are a DU student, then what has been followed in your
Krugman.
colleges?
Krugman.
So that is an Krugman. Yeah, that is enough for you. So, yeah, and for JNU, if you are specific to JNU, then I will suggest you to just for micro you can study Hallvarian and Pendik and Roganfull, just line by line and clear your concept. That is enough. And for macro, follow one or two books, which I have already told you about when I was talking about DSC. So that would be enough for you. So for JNU music, JNU in JNU, they more or less ask you about some theoretical question. They are not like as much quantitative as DSC. So yeah, this is all about JNU. And
guys, for okay, go ahead, Payal.
No, you go ahead.
Guys, I was just saying that when you have prepared for DSC, ISI, and these colleges, and DSC and ISI, IGIDR have exams before these JNU and other exams generally. So when you are giving the JNU exam, you just brush up your JNU past years and other books which Aditya just said. But on the top of that, for Triple S, just read some if you can read, just read like which theory is given by which economist, like Solo model was given by which economist, because at our time, no, not at our time, in 2019, in Triple S paper, they have given a very unexpected paper. They just asked about match the following and which economists give which theory. So they can also give these kinds of questions. So I'm not saying that you have to learn all the author name, but when you're reading a concept, you can at least just go through ki this concept was given by this and this concept was given by this. So that won't take much time, and you will get one good score by just reading one line. So yeah.
So yeah, the entrance pattern of JNU has changed in 2 years. First, it was conducting offline exams, so the pattern was very different. And since 2019, it started conducting online exams. It's the first time it took online exam. The pattern completely changed. It had no negative marking, and there was only 50 questions, and they gave 2 hours. So and it was all theoretical, so it did not even take that much time. So the pattern was very different. So the papers that are given for JNU from previous years, they do not come now. The online pattern is very different, and like Ritika and Aditya just told, there are more theoretical questions and questions like which economist gave which theory, which economist wrote which book, and also questions also do come in the theoretical papers.
so yeah, so Ritika, can you
Okay,
tell
guys.
some?
So apart from JNU, and do you guys want to know about any other colleges? Because see,
Yes.
we can't cover every colleges, but more or less for each college you have to study the same. But for every college you have to study different little things. And for that, what you can do, so suppose say for SAU, you can just go the past. You have studied everything. Just look at the past year papers of SAU. You will find that SAU has asked SARC question on the base of SARC nations and some development economics questions. So you can brush up those concepts and read from Google some things, or you can
How
just go for the
for
past years.
specifically SAU, you just quote unquote that you have to study. You have to focus more on development part, development economics. As you when you see the past year paper, you will get the idea about how
Yeah.
which type of
Yeah.
questions is asked from development economics. We
Yeah,
will.
because the thing is that SAU offers masters in economics with with specialization in development economics. So they ask the questions based mostly on development economics. They do ask questions from macro, micro, and econometrics as well, but they do have questions, many questions from development economics and from SAARC nations, countries, HBI, and all that stuff, and important concepts like Phillips curve and all that. They
Yeah.
are there. You can get an idea for South by studying from the past years only. Like they have
And yeah,
continuously like
So,
the
Ritika,
most
there is a
important,
question. Yeah. So, can
the
you tell
most
them about
important,
School of Economics?
yeah,
Do you guys have any idea about that? Or Madras?
which Madras School of, yeah, before that I was just saying one thing. What I was saying, I just forgot. Let it be. So for Madras School of Economics, I think Payal can tell about Madras School of Economics.
yeah. So in Madras school, they ask very general basic questions from economics only. There are some questions about general studies, I guess, and they are 100 MCQ questions. There are no questions that you need to apply and solve. There are basic economics questions. So they just ask basic economics. Nothing much. Even in Hyderabad and Gokhale, all these papers have the same pattern. They ask basic economic questions, and they ask questions about which economist gave which theory, which economist gave
Yeah.
which economist wrote which book. They do all these Gokhale, Hyderabad, and MSc. All these papers do not ask you to solve questions or apply math and do big calculations. There is just one marker, and you can easily do it if you know basic economic concepts. So you just need to brush up your basic economics concepts.
Yeah, just I would just want to add one more thing that if you guys prepare for SI, DSE, IJIDR, JNU, and SAU, then you don't need to worry about the other university. What is their exam pattern and what they will ask. I mean,
Yeah.
if you start preparation for these five universities, then the whole thing will be covered. What I think. So yeah, you
And
don't need to worry about all the other.
one special tip from my side, that do not focus on general English and general knowledge, current affairs parts, because that's a flow concept, and you can't improve it over the time. No, in just a time. So if you have a good general knowledge, then you can easily mark correct answers in MSc if you have good English. But you can't think like you just sit down and reading some synonyms for MSc paper. No, you can't do this, because that will take up a lot of your time, and it's just weightage about 10 questions in MSc out of 100 questions for English. So
So yeah,
if you know the
these things
answer,
are uncertain.
huh,
Yeah, you cannot know na ki from where they will ask, which topic will be
yeah.
asked. So
So
just let
don't
it be.
focus on this. I guess someone has asked about Jamia. I gave Jamia paper. So it was same. It was same with just like Gokhale and any other Hyderabad. If, as I said, and Aditya said, if you are prepared for all of these colleges, you don't need to worry about that. They just ask very simple thing like marginal utility, Phillips curve, just very basic question. Dobbin Watson these statistics की highest value क्या होती है? So मतलब they will have very very simple questions. They will judge your little concepts. So you see that there will be time constraint. They'll ask 100 questions in 1 or 2 hours. I guess I don't remember the timings, but you have to attempt like maximum question. You should attempt, sir, if they're asking 100 questions, try to attempt all of them. Don't skip it. Even if there is negative marking, just attempt all the questions. And attempt strategically. If you are skipping 5 questions and yeah, so basically attempt strategically. I don't want to discuss it right now
So
because
yeah,
that's
so
taking
all
much
these
time.
papers, Jamia, MSc, Hyderabad, and JNU, they all ask theoretical questions. Other than that, there is IIFT. The exam of IIFT, the paper contains both objective and subjective papers. There are just 25 objective questions, and they're related to economics. And as far as I remember, they also had aptitude, logical reasoning. but there are just 25 questions. The subjective paper is totally based on international economics because the master's in IFT is a specialization in international trade. So the subjective questions, if you have studied international economics in BU, you must be aware of exclusion theory, comparative advantage, and all that. So those questions are asked in IFT, and they do not ask direct questions. They ask you like if Japan and India are having trade and such thing can happen in the international market. So what will happen to the trade and all? So in the subjective, if you are going to give IFT, you have to know international trade. And if you clear, and again, the paper is conducted at one time only. They'll give you the entire paper at one go, and you have to answer first the objective and the subjective and submit it. There's also interview round, and interview also they test you with basic economics, like they'll ask you about econometrics, they'll ask you basic macro, Phillips curve, and all that stuff.
Okay, so let's discuss about coaching material. I think most of the students want to know about coaching and all. So I think we can move on to coaching.
No, they both have cleared entrance, not too many.
Yeah. So let's discuss about the coaching thing. So we highly recommend to take coaching. Uh, there are so many pros of coaching, and there is no con for taking and coaching. So let's discuss about like for DU students and non-DU students because that's really make a difference. So if you are a DU student and you have an eco background, okay, then in that case, you can think of not taking coaching because you can clear entrance by by reading all your undergraduation books thoroughly at least 2 times each line. Go about past years at least 3-4 times.
Yeah. So what I would strongly suggest you to think whether you should join a coaching or not. Just visit past year of any institute. If you want to take admission in DSC, then just take their take its past year paper and just look at those papers. You will find that these are not the questions which you have done in your semesters. Everything is different. Then you will definitely realize whether you should join a coaching or not. I mean,
See, we are not
we would
saying that you can't crack the entrance without coaching, but it's just they will provide you all the material at a clustered place. So,
and there is no disadvantage of
so it
joining a
will be
coaching.
easier for you. Yeah. See, there are so many advantages. You will get to know where you stand. You will have a peer group. You will get to know the outside competition because if you don't think any competition, you will just competing with yourself. Then how will you find out where you stand? So I'll highly recommend to take coaching. But if you really don't want to pursue the coaching, since some of the students have asked that if we don't want to take a coaching, how should we go about it? So just read all the books the Aditya has mentioned at
Suppose
least
if you
twice,
don't,
twice.
I would like to highlight this point that suppose you don't join the coaching, then what will you have to do? You'll have to find and research all those materials on Google, YouTube, and these are not the things you will get easily from there. So you will have to struggle a lot. You will have to devote or waste a lot of time in it. So if you have the coaching, then your life will become simpler now. They will do all these things for you. What do you have to do there? Just you have to study.
Yeah,
So in
and
that sense,
the most important thing, the coaching people they provide a mock series for you, so you can attempt those mock series because those mock series are time based. So because the speed management is very important, at least for Delhi School of Economics exam. You won't even find when the 2 hours just go. तुम्हें पता भी नहीं चलेगा. So
or guys,
the time
yeah,
management is very important.
time management, and also don't waste your time in studying lots of books. Just revisit again and again. Don't do that. Just go 1 or 2 times, read a book, and then just leave there and start attempting the questions. The more number of questions you will attempt, the more number of concept you will get to know while solving the questions which you haven't learned in book. Number of questions. whether it is for JNU, ISI, South, for any university. And for that, you have to just practice on the past year paper. So there you will get also the
So
exam pattern and how they ask the questions. So yep. Don't waste your time
Basically, you need to
in studying
understand that
books.
you need to prepare the entire course of 3 years of DO in just 1 year. So just coaching just helps you and guides you like how to manage it. If agar ek semester mein you have certain like core subjects, you're just doing those core subjects. But now at the end time period, you need to study micro, macro, international development, econometrics, statistics, everything in just 1 year. So you need to do that along with your college. So they just guide you and help you of how you can do that. They tell you pick the important topics out of the whole book that and whole course that you have. So that just helps in a way. If you are aware of how to do that yourself, you can easily do that.
we are recommending to take a coaching. We are not forcing you to take coaching. We are just saying that we recommend to take coaching. It will be very helpful. Uh, there are so many students who who crack the entrance exam without taking coaching. So it's not like that you can't even crack the entrance exams without taking coaching. We are not saying this. Okay. So someone has asked the coaching institutes. Aditya.
There are number of coachings in Delhi which conduct the economics preparation, and we will not be biased towards any coachings. We will we will tell you about the coachings. What are the options? So for person to person it depends. Na, if suppose I have taken my coaching from this institute and I found it fruitful for me, so it doesn't mean that you will also get the same vibe from there. So we will not suggest you or advise you to join this particular or specific coaching institute. Rather, we would just tell you about the number of coaching centers. From there, we have seen the number of students. They have the good number of track records of students who have passed the entrance of these institutes.
We can't say ki, like this is the best institute. We can say just we have taken this coaching from this institute and this was best or this was worst. That's it we can say. Yeah. So actually both of them took coaching from EcoPoint and it was very good. Sir and ma'am both teaches very well. I guess Payal Payal has also taken the coaching from EcoPoint, and most of our friends have also taken coaching from EcoPoint. So it's not like EcoPoint is the only best institute in Delhi. You can also take coaching from, I guess PMG has also started giving the entrance coaching, but I guess the Rahul sir is only teaching econometrics, maths, and statistics, not the entire course. So I'm not sure about that. But there is another institute by Amit Goel sir, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
econ study.
Payal, you can talk about it actually.
Okay, just continue.
No, you can talk about it. You can just
Yeah.
go ahead.
So, see, many coaching institutes are there. Bliss Point, PMG, ACE, EcoPoint, and Econ Study. The two that are most famous are EcoPoint and Econ Study. Econ Study is by Amit Goel sir. And the difference between EcoPoint and Econ Study is that the EcoPoint has 2 lectures in a week and there are 4 hour classes, while econ study has 8 hour classes in one go. So that's why I think most of the students prefer EcoPoint. Other thing is that when you join EcoPoint, you'll realize that they start from a little basic in comparison to Amit Goel sir. Amit Goel sir mainly focuses on DSP and ISI, and he starts from a bit higher level. But in case you have to join coaching, the best option is you take the trial classes of all the coachings that are available and decide which suits you the best.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because the
Also,
teachers have different ways of teaching, and it depends on your understanding of which person you feel can explain you the best. So yeah, we can take the trial at EcoPoint, EduNext, Bliss Point, ACE, Econ Study, and yeah, there are online coachings, and most of these coachings have their website or contact numbers. You can easily find them and contact them. They do have their trials. The best time to start is right now in the third year, then you have one complete year to give it to your coaching and interest preparation. Most of these coaching centers will have trial classes in June itself, so you can just contact them right now. Other than that, for EcoPoint, I know that they have a batch for just one semester, which started in January. So if you take that batch, it is a bit hectic because instead of like our batch was like we had in the fifth semester we had classes 2 days a week, but when we came to the sixth semester, when more than half of the course was complete, we had classes just 1 day a week. So it gets easier to manage because the entrances start in April itself. So that way it's easier. But if you join the January batch, it is hectic because you'll have classes 4 days a week. So if you join any coaching, you need time for self study. So the best way is to join it in 1 year in advance, so that in the last semester you have better time and much more time for self study.
Okay, so what we can do right now, just address some questions from the chat box. There are
Of course,
number
yeah.
So how many questions they ask in DSA? There are 50, I think.
50 questions.
Which
50
are the good
questions, 4 marks each, 2-hour paper, and try to attempt maximum questions as you can.
Which are the coaches, good coaching? PMG, EcoPoint, BlissPoint, they have already
done.
covered. One thing I want to add here, just suppose if you are a non-eco background student,
Yeah.
then what I personally feel, since I have a non-eco background, so what I
So guys,
personally feel
Aditya is from non-eco background. He does not have maths in his in 12th, not even in undergraduation. And so that's very inspiring. He is in DSC.
And no econometrics.
And know econometrics very well.
And
So you can
still his favorite subject is econometrics.
Yeah, he's not from DU. So you can listen carefully.
So yeah, I would like to just add one more thing for the non-eco guy, right? So I have gone in EcoPoint and heard about the Amit Goel sir. So they have a good record of students who crack these entrances, mostly ISI and DSE. What I personally felt that if you are not good with the basics, even with the basics just for a moderate level, if you are not good with that, then I don't think that you will survive there. You will get to learn anything there. So I personally went in a deep school of economics where I have cleared my basics. And in first year, I have cleared the entrance of DSC in my second attempt, right? So in first attempt, just by a margin, I haven't cracked. So in the second year, I have joined EcoPoint. So what I would suggest you to just if you are not good with the basics, then for building the basics, you just look at those coachings. So they are where you can make your basics strong. So I would personally suggest Deep School of Economics. You can once visit, and yeah, that would be beneficial for me. So I hope. What is the ideal term for start?
Basically, he was saying for those who have no idea for maths, he has no idea for mathematics, economics,
For a non-eco guy. For a non-eco guy.
For a non-eco background. So
what is the idea?
So basically, the ideal thing is if you are from non-eco background, don't think like this. You can't even crack the entrance exam. That's not the case. You can crack the entrance exam, but it's just you have to study little harder than those who are from eco background because in DU we used to study mathematics very thoroughly, economics very thoroughly, so we have that advantage. So that's the only thing. And I remember one of you have asked that I did not have GE maths in my undergraduation. So is there any disadvantage with that? So there is no disadvantage, or there is there is not even any advantage of having G maths in your undergraduation, because in undergraduation we used to study the major thing was numeric methods, and DSC does not ask about numeric method. It focused on calculus and linear algebra, and optimization. And I think we did not cover calculus under much calculus. There was little bit about calculus, but it was majorly numeric method, not the real analysis. So so don't think like if you didn't have GMATs, there is any disadvantage, or having a GMATs is any advantage. There's nothing like that.
So yeah, what is the ideal time for starting with a coaching? So yeah, as Payal already told you about that. Yeah, if you are in third year, then you can start. And for a non-eco guy, you have to take almost a 1 year completely, and I think that is enough. What is the appropriate time to start? Where did you join? Eco Point, and I also Deep School of Economics. Any good online coaching centers? I think nowadays all the platforms, they all provide the online platforms, right? Yeah. So if we didn't study the topic, does EcoPoint teaches that topic? Payal, Kritika, for you.
So when we had offline classes, all the batches, like they have every day different batches. They have Monday batch, Tuesday batch, they have all days batches. So if you do not attend your class in a particular topic in a particular class, sir used to tell us that this topic will be taught in this batch class next week or maybe the next day, and you could go and attend it. As far as online is concerned, every video lecture is already there on the portal that they provide you. So you can visit the lecture anytime you want, and you can visit it multiple times. Even if the topics that are not covered, the video lectures are already there on the online platform that they provide you. Like the online platform has all the video lectures, it has all the practice papers, all the topic-wise papers, college-wise papers, and everything. So you can access through that. That is not an issue.
Very useful for DSA and for cracking the entrance of DSA and ISI. So this is the good thing of joining a coaching. And when will be the application form are coming from, and when?
You guys must know this. You guys should check
these are not the normal.
Yeah.
I was asking about
not studied a topic in undergraduate, and if it is a topic that is coming from entrance, they will teach you. They will teach you mostly, they'll cover like 99% of the things that are coming in entrance, and they know about it. And that will be helpful for all entrance exams. So that is not a problem. If you're not studied it, that's what you are joining coaching for, because you've not studied it. And even if you know it, it just makes it better.
And if you have any doubt, you can ask to sir. He's so polite. He'll answer you everything.
Yeah. And mostly, like there are groups, like 2-3 batches are combined in one group, and usually most of the doubts are cleared in the group itself. People are studying, and you ask the question in the group, you'll immediately, or in a 1 or 2 hour, you'll receive the answer in the group. And if you do not receive an answer, sir itself answers on the group. Sir also checks that what questions have been answered and what not have been answered, so he answers. We only know about EcoPoint because we all have studied from EcoPoint. That's why you can't tell you about other coaching institutes, like what is the way they deal with it.
All have experienced EcoPoints, so that is why we are telling you. And we have no other information about other coaching.
If you face any problem during
now I know where to join.
I think Payal has given the answers of Ishita. I think Ishita, is that clear question?
Okay, so the entrance exams.
Any other questions?
In the month of April, you will have SAU and IGIDR, and in May, the exams of CDS and ISI, they are conducted, and these will be conducted before or in between of your college exams. Now that you don't have it, and we don't know like what will be the pattern this year, will they wait for the situation to be better, or they'll prefer online mode only? So you can't say, but usually it happens in April month for SAU and IGIDR, in May for CDS, ISI, and after the exam they may end, or in the June first week you'll have IISc, MSc, Hyderabad, JNU, DSC, all these exams. So you need to prepare alongside your college study. And for CDS. CDS is another college of JNU, which is in Kerala. Even for the CDS exam, like it is a branch of JNU only, and you'll get the degree from JNU only. But it's in Kerala, and they also have the entrance exam like MSc Hyderabad. They ask basic general economic questions only. Basic MCQ. You don't need to solve anything. Just need to know about basic economics.
Gargi has asked, do you have any idea about IIT? So,
Done.
I don't think any of us have given IIT exam, but one of my friend gave the IIT exam. So I asked her actually. So it was the same. It was same. It was actually a good paper. She said that the question was like as DSE asked, they were good questions. So so if the same thing, if you are prepared for DSE, you are good to go for IIT as well. But IIT, there are economic section. So I have I don't have any clear idea. But if you are prepared for DSE, you can give any exam. If you're just prepared for DSC ISI, you can go for every exam. But IIT also has interview, so I don't have any idea about the interview and what they ask in interview. Yeah, sorry for that.
Yeah, and Jamia, as I told, they also ask basic economic questions like in MSc Hyderabad. You don't have to solve anything or focus on quantitative and all. It's basic economics. And when you're preparing for DSC and ISI, you focus more on the quantitative methods to solve a question. But if you alongside that start clearing your concepts, it will be easier to attempt the other papers like MSc Berkeley, Hyderabad, and all of the papers. Because they ask basic economics. They do not expect you to like indulge in so much calculations and quantitative methods to solve the question.
Okay, Shrishti has asked that what are the chief benefits of going for MA Economics rather than going for the grad placement? Okay, so see, there are so many benefits of doing MA Economics and not taking placement just after undergraduation. See, that the motive for working in corporate depends upon person to person. If you are doing, say, suppose MA Economics from Delhi School of Economics, you get a very good placement in reputed, company, very good package, job satisfaction. See, these things the seniors has told me. I haven't got placed yet. So so you might get a good job after undergraduation as well. But the thing is, the major difference, what I believe, of getting placement after MA Eco is that you will get a growth. Because just doing a job after graduation, you won't get growth. You will just stuck at some level. After that, there will be no growth. Because for growth, you need a master degree like MBA or MA. And if you have done any master degree, you are expected, they expect you have good knowledge and good intellectual skills. You are adjusting to environment, so you will have good growth and good projects. That's what I feel.
Yeah, so basically in our batchmates also, there are some our batchmates also who have taken placement after their undergrad. Now they are after 1 or 2 years, but now they have prepared for
Yeah, they are
MAECO
in
and come
DSC.
into the so and for
And we
competitive
actually ask
exams
them why.
also. I'm assuming that you are talking about IES. So yeah, for IES also, more or less the syllabus is similar to what we study in our masters at masters level. So in that field also, it would be advantageous for you.
No, even for IAS, the minimum eligibility is Masters in Economics.
Which is the MA Economics,
So
yeah.
even RBI exam, if you go for specifically in economics field, you need to have minimum Masters in Economics. So even for these if you're giving general competitive exams, you can give them any day. But if you are going for economic specific, the minimum eligibility at most of the places is Masters in Economics. and someone has asked about like if you do not clear the entrance exam, how you deal with motivation and keep your confidence high. So the main thing is being consistent. See, when you start studying from the month of June until next
Yeah.
year of June, and the DSC exam keeps on dragging till the month of July, you'll reach a saturation point. That's the main thing about DSC entrance and all the entrance that are conducted after your college exam. You need to be consistent. Like the entrances start in the month of April itself. So you will keep on giving entrances in the month of April, May, June, July, and then it'll end. So even for like most of these colleges declare results alongside, but like SAU and IGIDR declare results a bit early. SAU result was for my when we 2 years before SAU results were declared even when we were giving our college exams. But for IGIDR, they declare results early because they have to conduct the interview. And when they conduct the interview, even for ISI, DSC, all these results will come alongside. Why? Because the people who get admission in one college, they shift to another college if they receive a better opportunity. So they do take admission, but the admission process goes on till all the colleges have declared all the results and all the seats are filled. Because you will keep on changing colleges. So the main thing is you have to be consistent, and you need to understand that even if you do not clear one or two, at the end you are eligible to clear any entrance exam. So there are people who I have met, and they just told me that the results are out for 2 or 3 colleges, and we have not got into any. So like we have the entrance tomorrow or day after tomorrow. So should we give it or not give it? No, you do give it. Why you should not give it? Like you can. It's not like if you do not clear one college, that does mean that you won't clear another college. There are people who have cleared different entrance exams. So that should not
Exactly.
be.
And if you have not cleared any, say suppose the first exam is IGIDR, if you have not cleared that, then it's okay. Because if you did not clear, you have a scope of improvement. You can study hard, you can study more concepts, you can find out where you lack. So just don't lose your morale, just boost up your morale, sit with you and just talk with yourself like it's okay, I can do it. Just do these things. That's really
And in
helpful.
fact, there are just 1 or 2 colleges who declare results in the very early phase. Rest all you have to
Yeah.
wait at the end. So just keep on giving. You have to keep yourself motivated to keep on giving. And everybody, if you join coaching, your people around you are facing the same situation. In fact, I'll tell you it's beneficial. Why? Because when I cleared SAU in one go, I had all the entrance exams waiting. But I cleared SAU, and that kind of demotivates yourself that ठीक है एक जगह तो हो ही गया एक सीट हो गई है एटलीस्ट अब तो बाकियों में फिर तुम ढील देने लग जाओ.
Exactly.
So it's good if you give all entrance exam and just wait for the end and then decide to which college to take. And if you get admission in any college, just
You
take
will
it.
land at a good place.
Yeah.
So
And if you get admission in
basically,
any
You
college,
will land at a
just
good
take it.
place.
Don't wait that हम तो इसी में लेंगे हमारा इसमें होने का chance है. Just take. Just reserve your seat. Because getting the seat is important in the first place. And if you at the end decide कि नहीं हमें इस college से करना ही नहीं है, so just leave it. You always have the option of dropping the year.
what I would suggest
Yeah.
you, so whatever is your first exam of your entrance, whether it is JNU, SAU, and IGR, no matter if you do not want to get admission in that college, but try to put all your effort in your first entrance, because that will that will boost your morale, and try to clear it at any cost.
Exactly.
So that will give you confidence for your other remaining exams. So yeah, that should be the motivation.
Yeah,
And even in
I
DSC, and
just
don't
want
worry about.
DSC. I
Huh,
didn't
huh.
even want.
We both couldn't clear DSC in our first attempt. So we
So I didn't even want. We both didn't clear DSC in our first attempt. So we just want DSC only. So it's not like that कि तुम लोगों का एक एग्जाम नहीं हुआ है तो you will just set for that.
if you
So it's
have a
okay
dream, like if you
if you
have
didn't get
yeah,
in first attempt, that's okay. But
yeah.
we really yeah.
If you have your dream colleges
You
like
go ahead,
ISI, DSC, and IGIDR, then I can understand how it feels when you don't get admission in your first attempt. So no matter, it doesn't make any difference, right? You can give your second attempt. Even in our batchmates, there
Also
are many of the guys
we
4 times in DSC, just because they have DSC is their
yeah.
dream college. So in that sense, you don't need to worry about that part. Like,
And yeah, they did
Yeah,
not
see,
cross the
we just
word. They
want
got in
DSC.
between SAU and they both were in SAU and they prepared for their next attempt in DSC. So you can do this. You always have the option of joining the college and alongside preparing for your entrance in next year.
Yeah. If even if you just want DSC or ISI, just give all the papers, because that will give you motivation and that will let you know that where you stand. Because giving other exams will boost up your concepts. So I gave ISI, IGIDR these papers just to आई वॉज फीलिंग लाइक चलो गंदा होगा तो ये वाला बेकार हो जाएगा, डीएससी तो अच्छा जाना चाहिए, बाकी पेपर बेकार चले जाए, बिकॉज आई वांट डीएससी. So it's okay. Just give all the exams and try to crack all the exams. मुझे सारे चाहिए. And then think like, oh, in the end मैंने सब crack कर लिया, मैं कौन सा choose करूँ? So just fit this in your mind.
So no, your
It
entrance exam and college exam will not clash. It is possible that your entrances of two colleges can clash. So then you have to choose. Sometimes the colleges, the universities decide to postpone or prepone the exam so that different colleges do not clash on the same day. But even if they clash, then you have to choose to give one exam. But if, no colleges or university exam will clash with your college exam. That's not possible.
Aditya, would you like to answer Shrishti's question?
No, SRCC and LSR do not offer masters in economics. There are a few seats in Stephens, but that are also based on the entrance that you give in DSC. So like DSC admits its own students, and then they just in 2 years ago they just gave two students. They admitted two students in Stephens, and for SRCC and LSR there's no such thing. There's only DSC if you have to take admission in DU for MA. Yes, entrance exams did happen online. So they conduct. There was
But
no other option.
not DSC and ISI. DSC and ISI were offline in 2020, and they will conduct on offline exam no matter what will happen. They won't conduct because that's how their reputation works. So they will delay the exam, but they will conduct offline. Okay, Aditya, just answer Shrishti's question.
losing its value now as there is a really big batch size in DSC. So since we are from DSC, so we do not talk any bad things about
Okay, then let me answer. I'll tell you.
no, first let me uh, uh, so all we have also when we are not in DSC, then we used to also listen all these things about DSC, that yeah, you'll have some survival issue there because of due to batch sizes or quality in terms of quality of education.
So like DSC has a big batch size from like many years. In fact, now they're increasing their batch size even when they cannot accommodate 250 people in their lecture hall. They are now admitting 350 people. So like there is always like people used to reach 1 hour
We all
before
know
in
the
their.
as just one point. As an aspirant, we all know this truth, but still we want to go into DSC.
Aditya, your voice is not audible. You are not audible.
Am I not audible?
Yeah,
Now you are audible.
So what I was saying that as an aspirant, we all know the truth about DSC, right? We all know all the negative about DSC, but still we all try for getting admission into DSC. So this is what the magic of
Like
DSC.
getting an admission is DSC is like मतलब एक टाइम के लिए ऐसा लगता है कि like जन्नत मिल गया. Like because of its huge brand name and its huge reputation, you can say, but it's not like that DSC is losing its reputation and all. I don't think this is the case. Um, Baki, I think Fire want to say something.
No, it also depends on
compensate
which
na those.
college you want. I have met people who do not give DSE and ISI exam because they want to go into the theoretical side and they prefer SAU and
Yeah.
JNU over DSE and ISI. And if you talk about the batch size, people do prefer ISI and IGIDR over DSE due to the batch size. ISI has a very small batch size and they do offer very good placements, and same goes for IGIDR. So if you have a problem with batch size or something, you can always go for ISI and IGIDR. And if you do not want to study so much quantitative info, you can go for JNU, SAU, MSc, and all that. Even MSc offers good placements. So you always have options. In fact, apart from all these colleges, there are private universities. Otherwise, also IP University has the exam. TERI and all these colleges also conduct exams. So yeah,
There is one another called Ashoka is also there, I guess.
yeah, and
One more
Shivnagar.
university. Yeah. So
There
see
are.
the universities. There are lots of universities. You have to decide in which you want to get admission. If you have decided that you want JNU, you will get JNU. It's just you have to decide in your head. You will
And
get
you have to be
admission. Okay?
consistent. You need to be
Yes,
One
you
thing
have.
I want to summarize here is like those who want to get placed after masters. So for those we have DSE, ISI, IGIDR, MSc, GoKlay. They have their placement. They have a good record of placement. And for those who want to pursue their career in research or they want to do PhD after
Specifically in
masters.
research. Yeah. Aditya, you're not audible.
JNU. Hello. So
Yeah, you're audible.
for research colleges, we have JNU, SAU, CDS, Ashoka,
ISI
and I
as
think
well. ISI and
ISI as
IGIDR
well,
is for both.
and ISI and IGR in both.
See, people
You can go for
do research.
research.
People do research from DSE as well, but DSE is reputed for its placements. Okay, ISI and IGIDR are reputed for both their placements and as well as their research and PhD scholars. So DSE has a very reputed brand. Is a very reputed brand, and DSE students goes to foreign universities as well for PhD. But it is it's just famous for their placements. So that's why people prefer DSE for placement over ISI, and the major thing is DSE has around 350 number of seats and ISI has just 30, around 30. So not all of us can get admitted to ISI. So you have to decide whether you want ISI, IGIDR, or DSE. Like I'm just talking about the three topmost colleges. So you have to decide it. If you are if you got admission in all of three colleges, then it's completely your choice where you want to go. So we can't just differentiate that this is much better and this is better. We are in DSC, we will say come DSC. We love DSC, so but we can't say this. Yeah.
Yeah, all universities have quota. Just SAU doesn't have. SAU has international quota because it admits students from all 8 countries. So it doesn't have quota that wise. It has international quota. For India, there are 16 seats, and rest of the seats are divided among the rest 7 countries. So rest all other colleges have quota like all Indian
And
colleges.
and
ISI,
and
ISI.
ISI also provide 8,000 stipend to their students
Yeah,
also
that's
monthly.
I was about to say. ISI provides stipend. That's the major advantage and tempting feature of ISI. So DSC also provides some sort of scholarship to the entrance toppers, I guess. Yeah. Any other questions, guys?
You want to know about any other
You want to know
college or
about any other
something?
college or something?
Yeah.
Anything?
Any specific question about any specific college, coaching and books and the study material? Anything you want to ask? So, कुछ backup plan बताइए plan भी accept
If you have to prepare
If
for
you have to
civil
prepare for
services,
civil
you
services, you
need
need
to
to
just
just
indulge
indulge
yourself
yourself
in
in
civil
civil
services.
services.
You
You
cannot
cannot
do
do
something
something
alongside
alongside
preparing
preparing
for
for
civil
civil
services.
services.
Just
Just
go for
go for
preparing for
preparing for
coaching or
coaching or
self-preparation for civil
self-preparation for civil
services.
services itself.
Um, IIFT, there are no placement records as such because the course started 2 or 3 years ago, and IIFT does have a good brand name because of its MBA program. But as far as economics course is concerned, it started 2 or 3 years ago only, and there is no such record of good placements in IIFT for economics.
I have heard that the course curriculum is highly biased towards research oriented, right?
No,
No,
course
the
curriculum is
system is
highly
highly
biased towards
biased towards
international
international
trade.
trade.
They have a lot
And
of courses
actually,
related to
related to
international
international
trade.
trade.
And
And there is, if you are inclined towards research, you can choose IFT, you can choose SAU, you can choose JNU because like in SAU we have a 1 year dissertation program. There's a compulsory dissertation. You have to write your own research paper. Similarly, is for IFT, and I think there is the same in JNU also. There is the same in TERI also. Many colleges have their own. You have to do a compulsory dissertation and research paper. Please tell something about the strategies we how to start with. So can you please be specific about what
Like you're
strategies?
talking about
About self-preparation or about which college, and please a little specific.
No,
No,
South does not offer.
South
South
does
does not
not
have
have
a
a
separate
separate
placement
placement
cell,
cell,
and
and
South is
South is
mostly
mostly
focused on
focused on
research.
research.
They
They
do
do
have
have
placements.
placements
Sometimes
sometimes
it's
with
mostly
mostly
like
like
99%
99%
of
of
times
times
you
you
need
need
to
to
go
go
for
for
off-campus
off-campus
placements.
placements.
The
The
people,
people,
alumni
alumni
of
of
SAU
SAU
are
are
at
at
very
very
good
good
places,
places,
so
so
they
they
always
always
help
help
you
you
out.
out.
And
And
as
as
far
far
as
as
research is
research is
concerned,
concerned,
people do
people
go
do
for
go for
PhD
PhD
abroad,
abroad,
but
but
there
there
is
is
no
no
placement
placement
cell as
cell
such
as
for
such for
economics in
economics
South.
in South.
So the
So
placements cannot be
placements cannot
compared
be
between
compared between
DSC and
DSC
South.
and South. Yeah, there is no comparison.
The
Also,
second thing
dropping
South
a
is
year,
real good.
real
The
good. The
course is
course is
almost as
almost as
similar
similar
to
to
DSC. It's just
DSC, it's
that
just that
it's
it's a
less
little less
quantitative.
quantitative,
Um, but
but
placements cannot be
placements
compared.
cannot be compared.
Does
Okay, so dropping a year,
for the
no,
preparation or
there is no effect of dropping a year in placements in Delhi School of Economics, because when you are sitting for placement, as I just told, they look you at as you are a DSE student. That's it. There is no differentiation on the basis of North Campus, South Campus, off campus, non-DU student, top student, anything, nothing. So for final placement, there is no discrimination on the basis of from where you have done your undergraduation, or have a drop year or anything. You just have to be good on your own and be specific on your own. So there is no disadvantage.
There are
There
people
are
who
people
have
who
done
have done
engineering
engineering
and who
and
have,
who have,
who have done
who've
their
done
job
their
for two
job
or
for
three
two or
years,
three
and then
years,
they
and
have
then they have
dropped their
dropped their
jobs,
jobs, left their
and then
jobs,
they're
and then they're
prepared
prepared
for
for
entrance of
entrance of
DSC, and they've
DSC, and they've
cracked
cracked
entrance of
entrance of
DSC,
DSC,
and they are
and
in
they are in
DSC. So
DSC.
it's
So
nothing
it's
like that.
nothing like
People
that.
from
People
many
from many
backgrounds come
backgrounds
into
come into
DSC
DSC
and they
and
do
they do
masters, and
masters,
they even
and they
drop
even
here.
drop here. They
They
must
must
have
have
done
done job.
job.
There
There
are
are
people
people
who
who
have
have dropped
dropped
1 year, 2 year
because they want to
because
get
they want to
into
get
DSC.
into DSC.
There are
There
people
are
like
people.
that.
Yeah, you can, even if the interviewer asks you why did you drop, you can simply say that. You can simply say that I was preparing for DSC. You can just simply say that. Just be honest.
just I'm telling about myself. I have dropped of 1 year, and I have done my bachelor's in commerce. So both the things are answerable to your question.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
these
that's
things will
all.
not affect. Yeah,
So she has asked like how to prepare for the preparation strategies. Okay, so she asked about that. Please tell me something about the preparation strategies.
be specific about. Are you
See,
talking about?
preparation
Preparation
strategies mainly
strategies mainly
depends on
depends
what
on
is
what is
your
your
goal,
goal,
which college
which
you want to
college you
get
want to
into.
get into.
If you want to
If you
get
want
into
to get into
DSC,
DSC,
ISI,
ISI,
IGRDR, you
IGIDR,
need
you
to
need
focus
to
on
focus on
quantitative
quantitative
methods on how
methods,
to
on how
solve
to solve
questions.
questions.
You
You
don't
don't,
you
you
just can't
just
get
can't
over
get
with the
over with the
basic
basic
concepts.
concept.
And if you
And
know
if you
that you
know that
don't
you
have to
don't
go
have
into
to go into
DSC,
DSC,
ISI,
ISI,
IGRDR, you just
IGIDR,
need to
just need
prepare
to
for
prepare
other
for other
colleges
colleges
who do
who
not
do
offer
not
such
offer such
quantitative
quantitative
courses. You need
courses.
to
You need to
focus
focus
mainly on
mainly on
basics.
basics.
So that depends.
Okay, so I want to add one thing. Like, suppose you are preparing for any like DSC, RSI. So just what I did, I just fix in my mind. If I'm doing any concept, say suppose consumer theory. If I've done consumer theory, I fix in my mind that any question relating to consumer theory, वो मुझे आना चाहिए. That can't be this can't be the case that I won't be able to solve the question from consumer theory. I have not done producer theory, that's okay. But consumer theory I've done, I need to know all the questions related to consumer theory. So, and do not waste your time studying all the material. Like, let me finish all the subjects, let me finish all the things, and then I will jump to question. No, beta, आप सब भूल जाओगे अपने मेरे को. So, when you have started studying, just write down the things. Write down things with paper. Write down all the solo model. Write down the Harry-Domer model, game theory concepts. Just write with pen and paper. Solve each and everything, and start doing practice questions. Start doing. If you are not taking coaching, then do all the past years. If you are only want to give exam for DSC, suppose, then also do the question from ISI, JNU, Berkeley, all the papers. Do all the papers, even if you want to go for DSC only. So just make this thing in your head that solving the question is must just after doing the concept. Do
even
not
if
delay.
even if your goal is you just want to appear in the entrance of JNU, then it doesn't mean that you won't try to attempt the first year paper of another university. You
Yeah.
have to attempt all the first year paper of another university as well. And Srishti has asked, if your target college is JNU, then how should I start my application? So in JNU, as we already told, that they offer two courses, Triple S or SIS. So yeah, for JNU, I don't think you'll have to work a lot in number parts, in quantitative parts. You just follow the books we have already told you. For micro, you just need to go through the Holverian and Robert Pendig and Rubenfeld. That is enough for micro. So and all the suggested books.
Yeah,
You
and
just make your own
must
notes.
focus. Yeah, and must focus on macroeconomics. They ask macroeconomic concepts, development economics, and SIS international economics. So you can read your undergrad book, The Krugman, and if you are not from DU, then you can read The Salvador. That's a very good book. So. So see, the main thing in JNU, as Aditya said, if you just want to go for JNU, also do the paper of DSC, ISI, because that will brush up your concepts. It will boost your confidence that you know things. Because JNU might ask some conceptual questions, but you will also find some conceptual questions in DSC papers and ISI papers as well.
JNU also asked some numerical questions as well. Not that much level of DSC or ISI, but yeah, they will ask you some optimization technique also in micro and macro as well.
You can skip PEB part if you just want to go for JNU. You can skip the PEB part of ISI.
So
So
just read the book.
whenever you have to prepare for any entrance, start by looking at the past years. That gives you the idea of what direction you have to start into. That gives you a very good idea. And if past years are not available, look for people who have cleared the entrance or even who have appeared for the entrance. They can tell you about the pattern of the paper.
Yeah, and don't just lose your morale after seeing the paper. That can be the case कि तुमको एक भी question नहीं आता होगा, but that's okay. You will eventually get to know everything.
And if you're giving JNU, look for the papers of MS. I don't think the JNU online papers will be available. So look for the papers of MSP, Hyderabad, CDS, and JNU online papers are available. Yeah, so you can simply look for that.
How useful is Tomato book for ISI PEA paper? Hi Ashish. Actually, I haven't read this book called Tomato, and I'm just hearing this name first time. So for ISI, as I just said, for ISI PEA, they generally used to ask this maths part. So I prepared pretty well for DSC. I have not prepared something extra for ISI except for its PEB part. So for ISI PEA, you are if you are prepared very good for DSC, you can easily crack the PEA paper.
See, it depends. If you are going for a course like IFT or JNU, the international paper, you need to know international economics, which is taught in SEM 5. If you are going for development specialization, you need to know development, that is taught in SEM 5 and 6. So that depends on which paper you are giving. Most of the paper is based on micro, macro, stats, econometrics, and maths, which you study in the first 4 semesters. But your specialization depends on what you study in paper 5 and 6. In Indian economy is not much asked, but if you go for development and international public eco, they are asked. So that's the only course that will help you from SEM 5 and 6.
Any other question, guys?
Anything else?
Okay. Thank you so much.
And I'll be sharing a feedback form, so please do fill it. I'll mail it to you guys, and please fill it. And if you need any more sessions, there were some people who are asking about admissions to foreign universities or something. So I'll be having another session for that also. So if you require any other session, that you can fill up in the form. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you.
And if you have any other questions you want to ask, you can always ask on the Effortless Economics page, and any one of these, or I can help you out with that.